It's still
Wait, it's still
pretty colorless. We tried.
We didn't get our pigment.
No, we didn't. I told you. They can't even see our new logo. They can't see the colors of the
For
new
those
logo.
of you who are wondering, it's blue and yellow, the official
blue and yellow, just like the other ones.
Those
It's a
are
good
the other
color
one.
scheme. It's a good color scheme.
I mean,
Well, it's
considering
the only
that,
color scheme I can see.
yeah, Jaden can't.
Well,
see
I
it.
can't see any color schemes right now, though.
I mean, there's no color. It's black and white. Black and white.
So, I mean, we figured we've got it black and white. We're kind of stuck like this. Why not talk about some of our favorite black and white movies?
What about TV shows? Because one of the greatest TV shows of all time is black and
Well,
white.
I only have really 2 black and white TV shows that I watch.
We're not going to do a list. We're not going to do a list
Of TV shows?
of TV shows.
I mean, I guess we could talk about
We
the
can
Dick
talk
Van
about
Dyke
it.
Show.
we're gonna talk
But I thought we were going to have a whole episode of Dick Van Dyke.
Well, we can.
That show deserves a whole episode.
Listen, if you guys are looking for something to watch, find Dick Van Dyke, dude. You can watch
Peacock.
You can watch it for free on like a lot of those other places.
It might
like
be
Tubi or-
on Prime too.
you know, like Tubi and
I don't think it is on Prime.
No.
like Tubi and all those other places, or sometimes just like the LG TV channel has like a Dick Van Dyke channel. It's just playing Dick Van Dyke Show all the time.
Oh yeah, the Samsung
Yeah.
channel does. Yep.
And it's really good, guys.
It's so funny. There's so much. I mean, Dick Van Dyke alone has just so much talent.
When
and
he had
then
Mary.
Buddy Sorrell, I find myself giggling.
I mean, his real
at
name
that
is
guy's
Buddy
jokes.
Sorrell.
Right, Maury Amsterdam, but Buddy Sorrell, the character, I find myself laughing at him all the time. And after all these years of hating Sally Rogers so much, she's grown on me quite a bit. I love her.
I don't hate her, but she's the least funny.
I used to find her like super annoying, but I think part of the problem is some of her storylines, with the stupid romance roses and rye bread, and after every episode that she's the focus, it's I gotta go have a good cry.
Yeah,
I'll be back after a good 10-minute cry.
to me with Sally, it's like every time they do like a talent show, she sings, and I gotta listen to her go.
I wanna be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart.
you
Sorry.
can't even do it without coughing up a
Oh
lung.
my god.
You were a part of once I was my heart.
You're not raspy enough.
No.
Yeah, she's more like.
So why not take all of me?
I mean,
See, I can't do
that's who
it
the
either.
Las Vegas guys hired. The mobsters in Las Vegas hired her.
Well, she was a singer as a kid.
I
She was a
know.
young.
She's terrible though.
She was a
She's not
child
good.
star.
She's not good. She's
she
better when she
probably is-
sings like Durante.
She was probably a smoker,
Yeah.
and she had a little Carrie Fisher syndrome working a little bit.
Yeah, she did. Or,
Luke's a Jedi. You're his father. Sorry, Carrie. I love you. I really do.
Well, she's not watching, so
No, she's
she
not.
might be. But she's not. She's not.
she's probably not.
But yeah, the Dick Van Dyke Show. It launched a television legend's career.
Yeah.
Right? Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Mary
I mean,
Tyler Moore is a legend,
Yeah.
and there's not a more beautiful person in the world either.
I mean, not anymore.
Well,
She
I mean,
looks very beautiful right now.
you know what I mean.
She didn't anyways, even before she passed. Listen,
But-
celebrities. Let me tell you something, okay? This is my shout out to the celebrities. Plastic surgery never goes well.
No,
It never
no.
looks good. Just age.
I know it.
It's not fair because men can get old like Harrison Ford and people can say, oh, look at him. He's handsome and rugged.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fair because women don't think they can do that. But
There-
just
There's still plenty of
Let
women who
it
are older who
go.
are super attractive. I think Helen Mirren. I mean, she may have had a little work done, but she's not as bad as like Courtney Cox. She's like 30 years older than Courtney Cox, but looks better because of the work that Courtney Cox
just
had.
let it go. Mary Tyler Moore and Michael Jackson are two examples of people who probably would have been decent looking people who look like monsters by the end of their. Have you seen that Donatella Versace girl?
I think. I
Oh,
know who you're
give that a
talking about.
look. Dude, put that on post. She's got like these thick eyes. She looks like a cat
That's too bad.
or something.
It's too
Like,
bad
just
that the
stop.
pressure that is put on women too.
Mm-hmm,
Like a lot of women think that, or it may not be. They think it's true that once they get to a certain age and their appearance decline, that they think they can't get
Right.
acts and they can't get gigs anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like look at Meg Ryan and What's her
Meg
face?
Ryan. She has a new movie coming out. It's been years. She has a movie coming out based on a book where she's stranded in an airport with
You
somebody.
can't even tell it's her anymore.
It's-
you know?
yeah.
It's just. I
But
mean,
like Susan Sarandon is
just-
in her 70s. I
just
think
go
she's still
gracefully.
gorgeous.
just go gracefully. I'm sorry, but it's easy for us to say as we sit here. We're not, but still.
Well, you're
And Rosie O'Donnell always had a big tip: stay a little chubby. Helps with those wrinkles. Mm-hmm. Helps keeps those wrinkles away. If you got a little chubby in the
yeah,
face.
that's why I do it.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm a fat tub of freaking
That's why
lard.
I'm doing it. But yeah, Mary looked terrible. Michael Jackson terrible. Those are
Yeah.
two perfect examples. Meg Ryan. Oh, Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, the monkey.
No.
Oh, Mickey Rourke. He's the wrestler. Mickey Dolenz is the monkey, right?
Mickey Rourke is the guy from Iron Man 2.
Is it Mike Dolenz? Right, Mickey Rourke. Yeah, the wrestler, Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, he looks terrible.
yeah, he does. He looks like completely different.
Oh,
You can't
right.
even tell
Right.
from when he was younger.
But yeah, Dick Van Dyke. Amazing show. What's the other show you watched? Twilight Zone? Is that what you-
Twilight Zone. I've seen a bunch of Twilight Zones more than once. Tandy and I, my wife, were just talking recently how we want to go back and watch those because I think they're on Paramount Plus, and we just got Paramount
Yeah,
Plus, so
Dude.
we might go back and watch some of those.
Paramount Plus, you can watch the Bills games. You don't have to. You
I know
don't-
we're gonna get rid of cable. I think.
I love Twilight Zone. It's a great show.
Yeah,
There's
some
a
of the
lot of
episodes
really good ones.
are really
That
thought provoking.
That one where they're toys in the donation bin,
Oh, you like
but they
that
don't
one?
know that. I love that one.
I don't remember that one.
They're like a clown, a cowboy, right? Like,
They're
when
all
they're, like,
they're all
trapped
in a
in, like,
bin
a-
and they don't know what's going on.
yeah.
There's one. Isn't there one where like somebody's an alien and they're like all trapped together and they're like trying to figure out who it is?
Yeah, in like a coffee house.
Yeah, and the
a
the
diner.
guy takes off his hat and he's got a third eye or something like that. That guy's in the Dick Van Dyke
There's
Show.
two aliens in
He
that
plays the cop when Rob and Laura's furniture gets stolen
one.
when their dining room table is
right,
gone.
Right.
Enjoy
So yeah,
yourself.
we're gonna do a Dick Van Dyke episode.
Yeah, that show deserves a whole episode.
we
We'll probably
can
do a
do-
top 11 episodes.
We'll do the ratings. We'll rate them all,
Okay,
and
we
we'll
can
put
do
it
that
on
too.
the fan page.
You want to rate them all?
We'll put them on the fan page. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna do that with Sunny.
See, back then they only had 5 seasons, but they had so many episodes because
Like
they did
30.
like 35 episodes a season.
Right.
Now you're lucky if you get 10.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Dick Van Dyke Show was great, but there were some real stinkers.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. for
Romance
sure.
Ride Bread. And
There's some really bad.
the one
ones.
where Buddy Sorrell gets a bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
Some of those are rough. Mostly the Sally-based ones. Although like I said, I am Team Sally now, but some of those, the one where her birthday and they
Yeah.
try to surprise her, and
Any episode where Sally takes off her shoes, I don't like it.
does she take off her shoes very
A
much?
couple times.
I remember she taking them off when they want to rehire Buddy.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
us look like a mess, and she's throwing papers everywhere.
I don't like it.
You don't like anybody taking off
The
their
Dick Van
shoes.
Dyke Show is amazing, though. Amazing.
really is.
Is he going to trip over the ottoman, or isn't he?
He probably, he probably is.
No, most of the time he doesn't. More often than not, he does not.
Right, because
hit
there's
that
2
out.
where he doesn't and 1 where he does.
Right. So
But he kind of stumbles a little bit on
There's-
one of the ones where
There's
he...
also the whole sequence where he's not in there at all.
the first
right,
first
the
season
first
is just,
season
like
is just the
papers and stuff.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
And they
I mean,
always talk about what a mystery it is. Like, why is Buddy and Sally... Where's Rob coming home from if Buddy and Sally beat him home?
yeah. I mean,
Where's he coming
this
home
this
from?
is a really
the
niche
opening.
episode, right? We're gonna put this on the Dick Van Dyke Show fan page and
Yeah.
the Laurel and Hardy fan page.
And if
Because-
is there a Marx Brothers one?
I'm sure I'm not a part of it, but listen, if you're talking about black and white stuff to these guys, it's Laurel and Hardy, right? I
Right.
mean, obviously Dick Van Dyke. We love Dick Van Dyke. It's our favorite. If we rank TV shows for the three of us, it's probably Respect the Picks number 1, maybe number 2 to Sunny. Those two are the top 2, probably.
Well, as you can see back here, we got Stan and Ollie hanging out. And there's Stan and Ollie. That's the picture.
Can I turn my camera so they can see it?
Sure,
yeah.
if you want to. Listen,
That's the picture that they have on Friends, right?
So that's
Isn't that over Joey and Chandler's TV?
it is. That's a double reference right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't like Laurel and Hardy, I don't know if I can trust you.
Laurel,
Like,
they're so funny, so brilliant, and they do it in such a way. You know, it's not like stupid Ben Stiller. You know, talking about a eulogy, and he says, "Why can't we have an oogity googity boogity
Yeah,
soogity
that's
doogly?"
stupid.
That's not a good way to do dumb.
right,
You know,
right.
that's what I've always said about those movies. I think Joey Joey Tribbiani does a good job of playing dumb.
Andy Dwyer.
Andy Dwyer is a great dumb character,
Yeah.
and Stan Laurel is a brilliant dumb character.
I typed in your symptoms. You might have network connectivity problems.
There's a connection there. Dick Van Dyke and Stan Laurel. Before Stan Laurel died, Dick Van Dyke and him were buds.
Yeah, he was going out and hanging out at his house.
Dick Van Dyke just looked his name up in the phone book and called his number and got a hold of him.
Right, and Dick Van Dyke does a good impression of him.
And Stan called him Dickie.
That's yeah, I can imagine that. But I mean, they were both pretty young when they died. I mean, I guess 74 is not too bad.
Yeah.
But Ollie was like in his 50s, right?
But Stan wanted to. Dick Van Dyke tells the story that Stan, they gave him like a lifetime achievement award, and Stan didn't want to go because he couldn't move his other arm,
Right, he had a stroke.
and he couldn't move one of his arms, and he didn't want people to see him that way.
Yeah.
And then that episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show when they do the Dick Van Dyke does his
Right, Sam
impersonation,
Pomeranz
Sam
Scandals.
Pomeranz Scandals, right? The first thing he did was called Stan to see how he did, and Stan said, "Well, you have to take the soles off your shoes so you walk flat-footed, and you can't have the brim in your hat needed to be flattened out. Otherwise, it was great."
Oh, really? I don't remember that story. But there's video of Dick Van Dyke at Stan's funeral.
Right. Didn't Stan say something like, "I wish I was"? I can't remember what he said.
Something about skiing, right?
Yeah, I wish I
And
was skiing.
And the
right now.
nurse said something like, "You don't ski," and he goes, "Yeah, but it's better than this," or something,
and
right?
then and then
Were
he
his
passed.
last words.
And then he died. Yeah, yeah, but it would be better than this.
Yeah.
Guys,
Thir- What?
this is a real bummer right now. Let's pick it up a little
It
bit.
is.
fellas.
I mean, Dick Van
Well,
Dyke.
let me say this though. Stan Laurel, I heard, answered all of his fan mail
heard
when
that
he
too.
was
heard
older.
that
He would just sit in his apartment, keep writing bits for him and Ollie, by the way, even though Ollie had been dead for 10, 15 years, and he would answer people's fan mail.
I emailed his daughter because she used to have a web page.
Oh, really?
I emailed his daughter and I just got like a robo response.
robo,
or something.
yeah.
So
Well, didn't Dad? Our father's an artist, a graphic artist. He does logos. He's done some pretty big stuff like Flutie Flakes, right? When Doug Flutie was a big name for the Bills, and he did stuff for Abbott's and
Wegmans.
and Xerox,
Lucille
Kodak.
Ball.
Yep, that Lucille Ball Award. And if you're in Michigan, right? Is it Lansing,
Missouri.
Missouri?
Branson.
There's a robot he built
It's in
out of Bic razors.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
In Ripley's Believe It or Not.
What are we talking about this for, though?
Our father, he did some stuff that's now at the
Donated.
Oliver Hardy
Wow.
Oliver Hardy Museum in Georgia.
Yeah, there's some of his stuff's donated there, and it's on the walls and stuff.
Yeah, he made a shirt and stuff.
Yeah, so.
I would love to go back. I would love to go there. I've never been to the Oliver Hardy.
Well, we planned to do it one year, and it got canceled because of rain, and we didn't end up going for some reason. But it's a good thing we didn't, because it would have got canceled. But yeah, so, well, we're still in black and white, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't see.
looking pretty black and white to me. I think it's more grayscale. It's
All
not
right, so
really
Marx
black and
Brothers
white.
then.
Marx Brothers are also, these are things that our father, speaking of our dad, he kind of, he would tape them on the old top loader VHS, at like 3 o'clock in the morning when they're playing all the old
Well,
stuff.
I never had Marx Brothers, but I remember going over to his house and
Yep.
doing like Laurel and Hardy days
Yep.
when I was like, 11, 12?
Yeah, we used to have like Night at the Opera recorded and parts of Monkey Business. I remember after Monkey Business, we had a black and white Popeye cartoon after where the head gets big.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had Big Store
Big
from
Store,
the Marx
yep,
Brothers.
Big
That was the one that we watched the most when we were kids.
I
didn't-
Yeah, it was the only one I ever watched until you had your Marx Brothers.
Oh
run,
my
and
God, I
saw
was obsessed with the Marx Brothers my sophomore year in high school. I made a highlight reel.
it. Yeah, you did.
Because
Michelle watched it. Like she was trying to date me. She watched it.
Right, and I made a highlight reel of their one-liners because Groucho Marx was the king of one-liners.
Groucho Marx was revolutionary. His sarcasm and his insult comedy and that kind of
He
stuff.
had some pretty jokes back in the day too, a little
Yeah.
controversial or
even
edgy and racy.
if you go to his TV show, right when he was on, was it
Let's make it.
Let's Make a Deal? Is that what he was?
What's your line?
Whose line is it anyway?
I don't know
Not
what
whose
it
line
is.
is it?
We can put that in post. But yeah, he was like improving there, and he was really funny. The guy was a genius. He's a legend in comedy, and you know, you see that Marx Brothers like disguise that they always put in cartoons and stuff. That's
Yeah.
from him. That's his nose and his eyebrows.
You bet your life.
Well,
His nose, his eyebrows, and his mustache.
his glasses, not his eyebrows.
I don't
His
even remember-
eyebrows are on the glasses
His
too.
eyebrows aren't on the glasses,
Yeah,
are
they
they?
are. Sometimes they are. Yeah,
It was a quiz series. It aired on radio and TV,
yeah. And he got famous again.
and that's where the rubber chicken came from too, right? Didn't he have like a rubber chicken
I
or
think
something that
so.
came down?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch some of those. He's so funny.
and he was famous for the guitar.
Yep, the cigar and
He
the
doesn't
big
even hear
eyebrows.
that much.
It's weird seeing him with a real mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah, and later in his life, he had a real. Well, I think he had a real mustache all the time.
yeah.
If
the
you
Mark-
look closely enough at some of the movies, you can see
if
it.
you see them all without their personas on, they all look,
They look
so
exactly
much
the
alike.
same.
Especially Harpo and Groucho.
That's why the mirror scene works.
Yeah.
In Duck Soup.
yeah.
And they
Harpo
even
and Groucho
recreate-
are almost twins.
They recreated that in an episode of Lucy, didn't they?
I don't know.
Lucy
They
and Harpo do it.
They recreate that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Lucy and Harpo did. I don't know if it was I Love Lucy or one of Lucy's later shows, but they definitely did it with
Harpo. They,
Harpo's funny too.
but they look like Chico. Chico and Harpo looks alike too because they used to, before they were famous. Chico used to get gigs playing the piano, and if he would double book and he would send Harpo in his place, and Harpo wasn't as good as he was.
Right.
And then they got in trouble a few times for that.
It's pretty funny.
But I read. I love watching Chico play.
I don't know if I had a twin, I don't know if I could help myself from messing with people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would
for
mess
sure.
with people so bad.
I mean, they're not twins. They're not
No,
even
they
twins.
could be.
Listen,
They could be.
Chico, when Chico plays the piano, he didn't play it conventionally. He didn't learn. He didn't do things the way
Right.
you're supposed to do it. Like
Right.
when he does, like he's like do 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 ding. do, do,
Uh-huh.
do, do.
He said he was shooting the keys because he
Yeah, yeah.
He'd shoot a
he
key
didn't,
like
he
that.
didn't do it the way that you're taught to do it, and a lot of piano players didn't like it very well. But he was way entertaining doing it.
and
right?
and originally they were supposed to have Gummo was
Right.
supposed to be the straight man, right? But did he get drafted or did he join the army?
I can't remember.
I think
how
he
that
joined the army.
and he left the group and Zeppo came up.
And
What
then
a
eventually
dumb-
they got rid of Zeppo.
went. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they didn't get rid of him. He wanted out. He never wanted to be in them, or he didn't
Yeah.
like it. He did a lot of producing when
Was
he
it
got done.
Everyone
Eventually-
says I love you.
Him and Gummo eventually started like a law firm or something.
Gummo and Zeppo.
Yeah.
A hungading, a hungading, a hungading.
Don't ever tease him or mistreat him. Oh no! Don't double cross him or toss him around.
Wonder old dad once gets mad, he's a hound.
That's his voice. Like sounds just like that, and that's what you want singing your straight songs.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Everyone says I love you,
I like when Chico does it. Everyone, the whole world through.
even when Columbus said
1940, 1492. The lion in the jungle and the monkey in the zoo.
How does he
I
do
love
that?
you.
How does he without
I like how he says, says,
fail?
I love you.
Never, ever, ever does he break that character. Never does he
Says.
break that accent.
Says, I love
Well,
you.
I don't mean to destroy your worldview, but they probably cut those parts out.
Oh yeah, true. But I'm sorry, but Idris Elba, he's British, right? But in his movie, even for the most part, you can't tell that he's British when he's doing his American accent. But every once in a while,
Listen,
you can hear it.
You can't tell with Tom Holland.
Chico's accent
Chico.
is not good Italian.
No, it's not. It's
Italian people think it's racist.
Hey, you're crazy.
They
Up
Yeah.
the stairs this time. Up the stairs.
They,
hey, no downstairs.
they did a lot of stuff that doesn't really age.
Yeah.
No, it's a little racist.
I mean,
A
the
little racist.
30s, 40s. I mean, yeah, it's
A lot, yeah, their stuff was done around the same time as Laurel and Hardy.
right.
What's better? Who's better, Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello? Or Abbott and Costello? Laurel and Hardy or the Marx Brothers?
Well,
Laurel and Hardy.
I like Laurel and Hardy better. I think they're more likable characters, and I think that's what does it. When we put together our top 11 list, I have more Marx Brothers movies in my top 10, but I think that's only because the Laurel and Hardy stuff I like the most of their shorts, as
Also-
opposed to their longer movies.
Also,
Once they, go ahead.
Also, I think the Marx Brothers had a little bit higher of a peak. Like the Marx Brothers at their funniest are funnier,
No.
but Stan and Ollie's funny all the
Nope.
time. There's nothing bad Stan and Ollie does. There's I
Stan
don't-
and Ollie-
Early.
Stan
Have
and
you
Ollie-
seen Utopia?
dude, I love everything. Well, that's
Have you
old.
seen
That's
Utopia?
old,
Early?
right? Utopia.
No,
That's
Utopio's their last movie.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that one. I've
It's
never
terrible.
Seen it. I've never seen it, but
Marx Brothers did terrible movies at the end too.
yeah,
like
they
Room
only have 5
Service.
good ones. The rest of them are trash.
No, they had, what does it go? It goes coconuts, animal
Coconuts
crackers.
isn't even that good. Animal
I
crackers,
like
horse
Coconuts.
feathers, monkey business, duck soup.
Big store.
They
How many
did Big
was it? I
Store
didn't
just to
count.
get Chico out of debt.
Day at the Races was decent.
And Night at the Opera.
There's a couple crappy ones between Night at the Opera.
Casablanca.
Day at the Races was crap. No, Day at the Races was pretty good. I like the Tootsie Fruitsy.
Yeah, that part's funny.
That whole part is great. But between Day at the Races and Big Store, there's a couple crappy ones like Go West and Circus, and then Big Store is good, and then it gets bad again. Like Casablanca, they did Casablanca. Is that what it's called? The Night at Casablanca,
All right, I got a question.
Okay, what's your question?
and they did one
Are
with
there-
Lucille Ball.
Are there any black and white movies that you like that are not Laurel and Hardy?
I have 2.
Or the Marx Brothers?
I have 2.
Because we're still black and white, right?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
might as
I mean,
well
when
talk
is this
about
going to end?
I mean, we're in black and white. I feel like.
I mean, do we have to learn a lesson or something here?
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, we have to
Once we realize lesson, the color will come.
gotta learn
Maybe
our
maybe we have to talk about the right black or white movies and TV shows, and that will.
Or maybe you guys could stop making fun of me being colorblind.
Are we?
that could be
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That
Maybe
could
we're
be it.
are we switching bodies or any of that kind of
I
stuff.
don't know.
The hot chick to change up.
That's not black and white.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's in color.
Well,
Vice versa, all of me.
I mean, they went white to black.
Yeah, they did. What are the rules?
What are the rules?
Listen,
So how are we gonna get out of this black and white
I don't
Well,
know,
he,
maybe
conundrum?
you were about to say what black. And
Oh,
white
I'm sorry.
movies you
Go
like.
ahead. Let's hear.
Well,
it.
no. Let's. I think maybe that the lesson we're supposed to learn is what are the top 11 black and white movies.
Oh,
You think that might be the lesson?
I don't know. Was
Like, is
Ziggy?
that what we're supposed to learn?
Ziggy.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to say it.
He just wanted to say Ziggy because that's what they say. That's the like.
It's a Sunny reference again.
Okay.
Ziggy,
Well,
can
it's a-
you
it's a
eat
Sunny
my
reference.
tea?
It's a Sunny reference.
Is this
It's a Sunny reference to whatever Scott Bakula's show was. Quantum Leap.
is his name Ziggy?
I guess.
Take
Yeah.
me for Zig me for.
Listen,
Yeah, it's
you should
Ziggy.
when we get to that Sunny episode. I want you guys to hear Charlie Day sing that song because he does it so much. Scott Bakula does good, but you can tell that Charlie Day wrote it for him because of that Ziggy. You can hear, how he does that, like
Does he do it in one of the podcasts? In
Oh,
the
he
live
did it on
ones?
the live show. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
The
have
one that you were at?
Oh yeah, when I saw my buds, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you-
went and saw those guys. They had me back. I was VIP and stuff.
I'll put the picture up
Me
again.
and Michelle hugged them.
Don't put it up again. Take it down.
I'm putting
Get
it
it down.
up. I'm
Get it
putting it
down.
up.
Get it off the screen.
He
I
should
see
be
it. I
proud
see
of
it.
that.
There it is.
Get it
See,
off
look,
the
it's
screen.
right.
They're my best
look,
friends.
It's right here, like right there.
No,
Well,
get-
I'm pointing the wrong.
No,
it's
get it
right
off the
there.
screen. Get it off the screen.
They're my best friends.
All right, it's gone. It's gone.
They wanted me to be on the podcast, but I said no. I got respect the pick to do,
What did
guys.
I just
How about-
get?
I have a non-compete
Why
clause.
don't you talk them into coming onto our show?
I have a no compete clause that I can't.
What
I can't
did
go
I
on
just
there.
get myself into? Now I got to edit all that just right.
Yeah, you do. You
It
do.
won't be too hard.
no,
It won't be too hard.
I made it fun.
So yeah, you want to do top 11?
Top 11 black white. You don't want to tell us?
You want to tell us?
I mean, you
yours?
kind of we kind of teased it.
We teased it. Maybe if they don't show up on the top 11 list.
Okay.
All right, we'll do
I'll
it that
talk
way then.
about
We'll do
This
it
is
that
the
way.
respect to pick top 11.
This is different. Normally, Jaden's reading us the list, but you're going to do it today.
I don't even know what the list is.
The
Yeah.
top 11 black and white movies of all time, as deemed by Respect to Pick.
And we're probably
we
gonna
still
get-
need to get that Respect to Pick seal approval.
Right, we do.
We need
really
a
do
sound
it.
that makes the stamp noise like a whoosh. Boom.
Right,
Right?
and there it is.
We need to get an animation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should get that done.
We should get that done. But
So-
anyway, this is fact. You cannot disagree with this for its fact.
Right, once
Because you must respect.
once it has the respect to pick seal.
It's the Respect to Pick. Now,
That's just how it is.
just so you guys know, be prepared because there's a lot of Laurel and Hardy. There's a lot of Marx
Because
Brothers.
they're the
right?
best black and white movies.
That's what our dad raised us. I mean,
I
by
mean,
the time we were born, Black and white was a thing of the past.
But if our dad was
So
here,
we just
he
watch
would
what
have
he-
lots of other black and white.
oh
movies.
yeah, and I've looked up-
Westerns and Casablanca and
right.
all-
My wife and I had a little streak where we were watching a bunch of classics, and we watched Casablanca, and I liked it. The ending of it was amazing. The end of it was really good, and it had your attention, and it was like really suspenseful. But most of the movie is God,
and let
boring.
me say, there's another one like that, and people are going to be like, "Oh, people think it's one of the greatest movies of all time." Typically, you play it around Christmas time. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh my God, Wonderful Life. So long, so boring.
So boring.
But everybody loves Jimmy Star.
But it's so boring, guys. If you like it, what are you doing while you're watching it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what?
Right now,
It's terrible. So we're gonna do our top 10.
11.
11. Top
Top
11.
11.
Still top 11.
always top 11.
We're gonna do top 11 again.
Top 11.
We're sticking with that.
You silly,
I
silly,
forget
stupid
it.
idiot of a man.
I forget, don't I? All right, number 11. And this isn't Laurel and Hardy or Marx Brothers. It's Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein.
Oh,
number
now that's
11.
I've never been a big Abbott and Costello fan. I love Who's on First. I think it's so fun, and of course, I'm a baseball guy anyway.
Right. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein is probably in my top 10 movies that as far as how many times I've seen it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like Star Wars,
Yeah.
Superman.
I bought it. You can stream it. I bought it digitally. I can
Me
watch
too.
it on Vudu.
Me too. Abbott and Costello. Oh, chick. Oh, chick. Congratulations, It's funny. It's like the classic guys too. It's
Yeah, Belly Lugosi
Bela
playing.
Lugosi and Lon Chaney Jr.
I don't know who played the monster. I don't remember who played the monster. It wasn't Boris Karloff, was
No,
it?
it wasn't. It was
Boris Karloff does play the monster at some point, doesn't he?
he mostly does.
That's his main thing.
Frankenstein.
Dick Van Dyke does like
Yeah, that's Boris Karloff. Without my
And then we
I can't type.
and we watch with that Christmas album that had Monsters Holiday on it. Lon Chaney does all the voices. It was a Monsters Holiday.
Wait, no, Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff,
Yeah.
not Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney. No, Boris Karloff does Grinch.
Right.
He sings
You're
"You're
a
a mean one, Mr. Grinch." But Lon Chaney does Monsters Holiday. And he kind of sings it like
Wait, the guy who talks like this is not
Boris
Boris
Karloff.
Karloff. So who's the guy who does "You're a mean one"?
Boris Karloff.
Oh, so it's a different voice. It's a different sound.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
the same guy.
But
You
it's
know,
the same guy.
Yeah, no, okay, I get you. So yeah, Abbott and Costello.
Do you
meets
have you
Frankenstein, number
seen
11.
Abbott and Costello? You've never seen
Yeah,
it?
you should give it a watch.
How
If
did
you
we
like
d-
Laurel and Hardy, you should watch it. It's a lot of people are very anti Abbott and Costello if they like Laurel and Hardy. Like to me, it's like they're not in competition anymore. They're all dead.
I've pointed out the many failures of your parenthood with this child. That's one of them. How do you not show this movie,
I'm
this
quite
child
certain we've seen
Abbott
it.
and Costello
I'm
meets
quite
Frankenstein?
certain he's seen it.
Come on, especially
I
if you
haven't.
have it digitally.
I have not.
Listen,
Let's
you didn't
go.
have it on your top 11 until I mentioned it. So.
No, I had it on my top 11. I just had it ahead of Young Frankenstein by accident.
So number 10, you guys aren't going to want to talk about this. Number 10 is also from my dad. It's my dad's favorite Christmas movie of all time, Miracle on 34th Street.
It's good.
Black and white version. That movie's so good. It's got a little Natalie Wood. She's so
Yep,
cute
yep,
in
yep,
there. And what's her face? She's
Maureen
amazing.
O'Hara.
Maureen O'Hara.
Yeah, she played.
She was gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Wood.
She's one of those girls that talks like, What are you doing?
She was
You can't-
definitely-
Why are you going over there to film this? My child with heads full of.
Yeah, I believe her name was probably Karen. In that, but, no, her name. I don't know what her name was in the movie, but I can't remember. Doris. Doris. Everybody's name was Doris in movies back then, right?
Right.
Can you imagine a baby named Doris now?
Like it's so funny. It's so funny to me, like when they're the Dick Van Dyke episode where they're talking about the honeymoon that he missed. And he goes, she had long legs and she was beautiful, twice as sexy as Laura. And her name was Dorothy.
yeah, right. Right.
Because
It's so
that was like
weird.
a common name back. That was our grandma's name.
Yeah, it's so weird to think of like a baby named like Frank, right? Like,
Right.
Like, oh, hey, little
But he's
Frank.
talking about how gorgeous and sexy she was.
Look at
Dorothy.
This
Oh,
is,
Dorothy.
this is our baby Roger, right? Like, come on, get out of here.
Roger, you're so cute. Like Gretchen, same thing with
Look,
Gretchen.
I can't-
Oh, look at little Gretchen.
I can get on with Gretchen because Gretchen Gretchen is like some of the old ones are coming back, right? So like a little bit coming back now, where it's like almost our names are the ones that are worse, right? Like, can you imagine like a little baby named Jason now?
Yeah, well,
I can't.
Jay,
Jenny?
Probably people call him JJ. Like, oh, look at JJ.
Have you heard? Because we briefly touched on this at home. Have you ever heard of anybody named Eustace?
Eustace?
Eustace. That's a name, right? He doesn't believe me. It's a name.
Eustace. I don't know.
It sounds like
Eustace.
justice like changed.
No.
My wife's grandmother's name on her father's side was Eunice.
Well, that's close.
It's pretty close.
Close.
But okay, can I get back to Miracle on 34th
Yeah.
Street?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Let me ask
He's
you guys: is he Santa Claus or not?
Yes.
He's Santa Claus. The end makes you think he's Santa Claus.
No, it doesn't. The end makes you think that he was a nutcase, a nutcase that the guy proved that the guy.
How did he get the house?
And is there a deed? I mean,
it was an old person's house. It was
they
like an
they
old
never said it's their house, right?
They
It
don't
just says
really
for
explain
sale.
it. They don't really explain it, right? Like he finds it and like points it out to them to buy it.
Right. It must be because there's no deed. It's not like their house.
Right.
And so, I mean, I guess the cane. But I mean, hey, if the post office says he's Santa, he's
and her name
freaking
is
Santa.
Susie. The little girl's name is
The little
Susie.
girl's name is Susie.
Natalie Wood.
I always remember the part where he's chewing the gum the most. He would stick his foot out. And then he pops it and it gets all in his beard.
He's being a monkey. That movie's amazing. It's one of the best Christmas movies of all time. One of the best black and white.
what-
I haven't watched it in a long
What do you love about it if you don't think he's Santa Claus? There's no wholesome magic.
Sure, there is. Number 9,
What is number 9?
Laurel and Hardy. Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss is a good one.
Swiss Miss is when they're a lot old. Swiss Miss is one of their later ones.
Yeah.
When they're a lot older. Stan is or Ollie's huge.
Ollie's really
If
big
you
in
watch him if you watch Ollie on the bridge, his legs. He looks like a
Yeah.
little baby.
Yeah.
Looks like a chunky little baby in a diaper. But
And I like it when they're doing the dishes. Or-
just like wiping.
yeah, he's like using his butt to wipe off marks.
Yeah.
because the chef has how
Right.
many and for every
Keep
dish
marking it
for
till I
every
tell-
dish they break, they had to work. Because they didn't have any money, so they're paying off their debt.
Well,
Because they ordered everything in the restaurant.
Well, they had money, but it wasn't real.
right. It was,
Yeah, it was,
fake money. They had no good in this country.
Where are they?
Bavarian?
In
Bavarian?
Albania. Where is Albania?
There's no such place. So they had all this money and they ordered all this food. They didn't have what to pay for it, so they had to work. And the chef goes, "For every dish you break, you work an extra day."
I have a great idea.
What is it?
Let's go through the movie scene by scene.
I definitely could do it.
That's one I've seen a lot too because we had it recorded when we were kids.
Yeah, like
The monkey used to scare me a little bit.
Really?
The gorilla.
The gorilla? You think they
he
used a
threw
real
he
gorilla
threw
for
his
that?
Do you think it was a
you think it was a real gorilla?
He was scared because he thought the real gorilla was gonna get him.
Well, I didn't like gorillas because when I was a kid, they had a 3D commercial for 3D movies, and the gorilla reaches out and steals your popcorn. I don't want no damn gorilla stealing my popcorn.
Yeah, he was too scared.
Get that fucking gorilla
He
out of
used to-
here.
he was
also
scared
used
he
to
was gonna
call-
steal your popcorn and not like beat you up.
He used to also think helicopters were called coptopters. And he was 15, he was calling Superman Uppasace.
15. I was like 13 or
And a
14.
car was
15.
And a car was. We'd get him out of the car seat and his shirt was drenched in spit. Because every time a car drove by, he would point to it and go. Yeah, he wasn't that smart. Swiss Miss when Stan gets drunk. That's good, right?
Oh,
When he's-
yeah.
Gets to,
Help!
that
Help!
brandy was put there for a humane purpose, and anyone who was stoop so low as to touch
He's
it should
throwing
be
the
shot.
chicken feathers in the sky to make
He
it
goes,
look-
Ollie, I ought to be shot. It's funny.
Oh,
Right? It's
my
a click,
God.
click, click, hear the click.
And that stupid guy is the same guy from Night at the Opera.
Yep, it is.
I came up here to work. I needed complete silence.
I won't have it, Hegwin.
Stop it. Then he wrote a song about crickets.
Yeah. And then his wife comes and sings it, and he's like, oh, this magical song playing. Like, and then he finally realizes it's her.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Stan, like Ollie being in love with her, is so funny.
I like the chef. It's the cook. He's
Italian
one of the
song.
better bad guys.
Yeah,
They
keep
tie his
marking
arms in
till
a
I
knot.
tell you to stop. Go on.
I feel like they have a lot.
She's my girl.
When he plays dun 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 dun, let me call you sweetheart.
She told me so this afternoon.
Look at the silly sloppy look on his face.
Why don't people appreciate this stuff just because it's in? I think it is just because it's in black or white.
Yeah.
One that's
Wait, did that flicker? Light?
I didn't see anything.
I think we're getting there.
when
It just flickered.
We're on the right track.
It just flickered.
when they were making Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder had to fight so hard
To make it black and
to
white.
make it black and white to make it look like those old 30 horror
I mean,
movies.
you could almost just make the set black and white enough to make it look black and white.
True.
You know?
And I'm so glad they did because it had such a great, feel to all those horror movies.
Cha-cha.